Good morning. I hope this is the last or almost last press conference dealing with the Arctic blast that came in during the early hours of Tuesday morning. I think the city administration, the city as a whole, the citizens have been successful by nearly any measurement. I'm most thankful that we've had no fatalities due to traffic accident. We've had no fatalities due to carbon monoxide. And as I said, by any measurement, certainly how we handled our most vulnerable, the homeless. We've had 1,300 individuals visit and stay with us in a warming center. 10 locations across the city. No one was turned around. Fondy hit its maximum numbers yesterday, and I was contacted and I said, there's no such thing in weather like this as reaching capacity. No one was turned around. We furnished transportation. We actually went to Acres Home yesterday evening. They were warm and safe, but they were hungry. So I came back to this emergency center working with my team, the food bank. Immediately got over there at 6 o'clock. Some faith-based collaboration as well. So we've been successful, but I want to caution everyone there is still some mobility issues. There's still ice on some of our bridges and roads. So slow down, be cautious. City operations will return to normal. Certainly tomorrow, city services will be open, and I will emphasize that our airport is operating with full services as I speak to you now. TSA opened at 9, arrivals at 10, and 11 departure. I did get a text from a friend that said, I'm on the plane and we're lifting off. So Houston is working, and I could spend the rest of the day telling you why we've been successful. It's the teamwork. It's the preparation. It's putting the right people in the right positions with experience and their passion and commitment to public service, knowing who we work for, the citizens of Houston. And I'm so happy for Houstonians. They got probably just the right amount of snow to show the kids that had never experienced that. They got the joy of experiencing the snow, but we were allowed to return to normal operations. So the warming centers will be open tonight. We're measuring the need for tomorrow night. Most likely there will be 2 shelters, 2 warming centers open tomorrow night through Thursday. We told everyone Sunday night that we would open Sunday through Thursday. We may extend that to Thursday. But I want to remind everyone what this great team that I'm fortunate to have in place has done. Starting on January 10th and 11th, we opened up warming centers because not only the frigid temperatures, but the rain. We opened Fondy and West Gray. On January 15th, Wednesday, tragic shootout with a bad actor that took the life of a Brazoria County deputy. HPD was assist the officer operations in bitter, cold, wet weather. They apprehended the shooter, certainly with the assistance of K-9 Officer Rocky, who you'll hear more about when we open up City Hall, and I can get him a proclamation and get him before the public and thank him publicly. I plan to visit with him tomorrow, shake his hand, or Paul maybe. We had the marathon over the weekend, starting Friday in preparation. 5K was run Saturday successfully, safely, with the assistance of all of our city departments. Solid waste, public works, fire, police, health. We had the largest marathon ever Sunday, safe. Largest participation, 33,000 people signed up to run, hundreds of thousands along Houston streets, safe and successful. We opened our warming centers Sunday night as we committed. No one turned around. 2 MLK parades on Monday. Think about that. Same time, different locations. HPD handled it safely. During the night, we were prepared for the storm, and Houstonians did their part, kicking in Monday night. Stay off the roads. No school Tuesday and Wednesday. No city operations. Airport was closed. Everyone did their part. Collaboration is the key. Experience, team, commitment, passion. We got the storm through here. As I said, there was some enjoyable times Tuesday. We were servicing the warming centers, working with our county partners, our nonprofits. Balin was opened by the Red Cross in cooperation with Commissioner Briones. I just can't emphasize enough what a great city was on demonstration. We are the model for the rest of the nation, major cities demonstrating what we just successfully accomplished. Now, I do want to emphasize, there's still bitter temperatures. We still have to be concerned for the homeless. HPD outreach, its hot team, will be contacting the homeless. The chief and I at 9 o'clock last night at Richmond and Shepherd begged a homeless lady to go to a warming center. She had every reason in the world to say she didn't want to go, and I wouldn't let up. She was afraid for her safety. She was afraid for her family learning of her location. We assured her that she wouldn't go. And we'll deal with that population effectively in days to come by making sure that they're safe, secure, and let people know you can't sleep on the streets of Houston as current ordinance allows. We have some work to do, but today we're prepared to return to normal operations. City employees need a break. I could take you through those secure doors there and show you hundreds of city employees that have slept on the floor during this Arctic blast. I'm going to bring to council, we've got to do something special for that set of employees. Away from their families, securing their homes, wrapping their pipes, while allowing us and Houstonians to be safe. So today we prepare for demobilization. We're not in that mode yet, but we're approaching it. So I want this press conference to be one of thankfulness. We've learned. We're not perfect, but we're damn near close to perfect on how we handled this storm. The collaboration, TxDOT, thank you so much. Making certain that we always had a passageway into the med center. During the snowstorm, 288 McGregor into the med center was protected. Last night we were concerned about there was an increase in some accidents on I-10 and 610. We learned quickly that those were out-of-town folks. Wasn't the Houstonians that were doing their part in lowering their activity and their driving, but we were experiencing out-of-town passengers, transporters, coming across our great city on their way to their destination. HPD did a dangerous, great job of getting out about the Budweiser Brewery on East Tex Freeway with their red lights, their resources to slow people down. We can call up our department heads, but quite frankly, you've seen in previous days how well prepared they are. We did lose one gentleman that we're trying to determine the loss of life on the streets. We believe it was from pre-existing health conditions, We urged even him to go to a warming center, and we've got to deal. Let me close. We've got to deal, ladies and gentlemen, anyone that can hear my voice, with the mental health conditions of some of our residents. When you're in single-digit temperatures and you're begging a person to go to a warming center or he and she refuse, we've got to handle that population compassionately, appeal to the state of Texas, the federal government, and our partners at the county to treat mental health in our community. I can't emphasize that enough. We can provide first responders for fire and police and public works looking out for pipes in streets. TxDOT can bring all the road treatment and snow plows, but we still are not doing our job as long as we have the mental health conditions, not only in Houston, across our region, the state of Texas, and our nation. Mental health has to be something. I've already told my staff back there, I don't care what it takes. We have budget challenges. We have financial issues. But we've got to scrub our budget and find greater resources for our mental health. We are in the greatest city in our nation when it comes to health care with our med center. I'm going to be talking to the medical schools, the Harris County Psychiatric Hospital. And like I say, we've done a really great job of protecting Houstonians and getting them through this Arctic blast. The most vulnerable, BARC did its role with our pets. And I could start calling up these department heads, but essentially, I want everyone to know that thank you for allowing me to lead this city. Thank you for allowing me to lead this city. It's my passion. Experience counts. And at this time, I will ask for any volunteer. I think, Randy, you might talk about the condition of our water supply at this time. And let me allow you to briefly bring us up to date on the ins and outs of our water.
Yeah, you know, as we've talked about leading up to this point, as the temperatures rose and pipes started to thaw out, to be on the lookout for any breaks, any leaks that are going on. We're very fortunate today. We're not seeing anything that we didn't expect. Grateful to the assistance of HPD and HFD as they're out patrolling streets and they're seeing things. They're calling it into us. They're sending us pictures. They're helping us identify and spot things. You know, for the most part, as we expected, the leaks that we're seeing are taking place in private homes, in the driveways, and the sprinkler systems. As we've urged you all along, make sure that you know where to shut off your sprinkler systems, where to shut off the water supply to your home if you find a burst pipe. But Mayor, we're in really good shape. Pressures are good throughout the city. As we always have on any given day, there's localized issues. Our teams are out there right now dealing with that, but we're responding well. Our folks have done what they can do, and Houstonians have done what they've done as well, so we're appreciative of that.
Thank you. Chief Munoz?
Thank you, Mayor. As the Mayor mentioned, for us, we've been pushing public safety throughout the whole duration. When I get the staffing reports and I get the reports in the morning, it's an indication that Houstonians have listened. No fatalities on the road, no fatalities with carbon monoxide, no fire injuries. Our firefighters did an amazing job. And thank you, Mayor, for the support and the administration's support of allowing us to staff our firefighters, our fire stations with zero apparatuses browned out due to shortages. They all showed up. So it was in 52 years, our fire department hasn't seen this. Our city hasn't seen it. And it was a testament to all the support we've gotten from the mayor and the administration. Our firefighters did an amazing job. Houstonians did an amazing job listening to the messages. But more importantly, the directors behind us, Chief Diaz, myself, Randy, Brian, OEM, Public Works, and TxDOT and TDM, just all hands on deck. That was the approach. But more importantly, no fatalities. That's how we measure our success in our business. So thank you, Mayor. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Chief Diaz?
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. I want to just first start by thanking this incredible city for the amazing work they did to help us as first responders. I want to thank our team that worked around the clock in cold weather and dangerous road conditions, but I also want to point out the families that they left behind. I want to thank the little kids that stayed home while mom and dad came to do this work. In the middle of the night, 12, 14, 15 hours, sleeping in a car, sleeping on a cot at police stations. Their work is incredible. They really made a difference. I want to thank the mayor for actually reaching out and visiting and running around with us and doing the hot team stuff, because they truly do the Lord's work. They touched 400 souls over this winter event. 73 people were actually transported, and we were helping at every warming center. And to echo the mayor's words, we do need some help with a mental illness. We're getting better. Our teams are doing incredible work with that mental health issues. But I just can't thank the community enough. Our numbers were great. We were overstaffed. We made sure we prioritized, like every operational thing. We're ready to go to work. We make sure that the community's safe. No expense was spared from our office. Everybody was here doing their jobs. So I want to thank the community personally. I want to thank them for allowing us to serve and allowing us to do this fantastic job that we call the police career. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if you will translate for us to our Spanish-speaking residents.
Yes, sir. Buenas tardes a todos. Ha sido una semana muy ocupada, empezando con el maratón el domingo, luego los desfiles de MLK el lunes y luego este evento meteorológico ayer y hoy. La preparación de la ciudad aseguró que nuestra ciudad salió con éxito de todos estos eventos y no vimos muertes por accidentes en la carretera ni de monóxido de carbono. El alcalde agradece a todos ustedes, junto con los directores, el jefe Muñoz y el jefe Díaz, agradece a nuestra comunidad de la ciudad de Houston por escuchar nuestras advertencias e instrucciones. Con su cooperación, el trabajo de nuestras agencias de emergencia, nuestra ciudad salió de esto de manera exitosa. Las temperaturas siguen muy bajas, así que nuestros centros de calentamiento siguen abiertos. Hasta ahora hemos alojado más de 1,300 individuos. Los servicios de transporte público están funcionando ahorita de manera limitada el día de hoy, pero los aeropuertos abrieron y mañana nuestro servicio de transporte público estará funcionando de manera normal. No vimos accidentes mayores en la carretera. Sí se perdió una vida, pero la causa de muerte todavía está por determinarse. El alcalde y nuestros jefes también agradecen a todas las personas, especialmente de HPD, que estuvieron afuera llamando a la gente que no tiene alojamiento para ir a los centros de calentamiento. Pero los servicios de salud mental es algo que queremos trabajar como ciudad, porque hay muchas personas que no fueron a centros de calentamiento por ese motivo. Una vez más, gracias a nuestros servidores públicos, los bomberos, los policías, nuestros agentes tomando las llamadas de 911 y 311 y sus familiares. Si ustedes ven a alguien de estas agencias y si tienen la oportunidad, por favor, denles las gracias por sus servicios y por trabajar día y noche para mantener segura nuestra ciudad. Gracias.
Thank you. Just a small measurement of success. I'm probably my toughest judge. You know, I left Austin, the Senate, to come and fix Houston and unite this city. So the outpouring of support from Houstonians in recent days is appreciated. I thank you. Another little measurement. I got videos yesterday of firemen and policemen having a snowball fight in between their calls. A year ago, folks, they weren't even talking to each other. Now they understand that they're on the same team, and their morale is at an all-time high, and Houstonians benefit from that. Any questions at this time? Sure.
Mayor, we've heard so many people say that the response to the storm was such a success. Just look at how bad things went in 2021. But that's really comparing an apples to oranges situation. Can you talk a little bit about what some of these differences are that you saw between the two scenarios?
Well, I'd rather emphasize our success. Each storm, whether it's hurricane or the loss of electricity, which was 2021, are different and unique. So that's where preparation comes in. You know, this year, probably no administration's been more challenged than mine, starting with the Arctic freeze a week after I was sworn in, Kingwood flood, Derecho, Beryl, Lakewood shooting, 260,000 HBD cases had been suspended. So you have to put it in the context in which you find yourself. We were challenged the last several days. So I'm not going to go back. I wasn't the mayor in 2021. I think a different set of circumstances. The loss of power and electricity, obviously we know is a major game changer. I would mention Centerpoint, probably learned from that bad experience and had many, many times linemen and equipment prepared than ever before. TxDOT, our partners, brought in snowplows from Waco, road treatment equipment from San Angelo. So let's emphasize the positive, that we lost no one to a traffic fatality or monoxide, and I give Houstonians so much credit for listening to us, being smart, using common sense, having some fun, but also staying off the roads. That was the key. The messaging, you played a role. Thank you to our Houston Press Corps. We're all in this together, but each storm and episode is unique and separate.
Mayor Whitmire, how do early warning systems and preparations contribute to the success of the storm response, and what specific measures do you think made the biggest difference?
Well, everything I've said this morning made the difference, but our emergency center, Ron Mason, opened up that Thursday before the storm came in on Monday. So, you know, having some notice from the National Weather Service, taking it serious. I can't begin to tell you how experience in relationships matter. I've known this my whole public service career, is how I worked in Austin. Bring the best and the brightest and committed and passionate people to the table. I got folks with years of experience behind me, whether they worked in HISD such as Miss Wilson, or I couldn't be more proud of my police and fire chiefs. So I can go on. It's a team effort. The difference is having the best experienced people with the commitment. You know, you can have all the experience and intellect in the world, but it's that passion of knowing you're in a position of making a difference. And that's why I ran. That's why I appointed these folks. I couldn't be more pleased. But it's preparation and having the right people in the right places. And having the credibility that when you tell Houstonians this is in their best interest, they listen to you. Communications, credibility.
This may be a question more for the Metro, but we're hearing from some folks some delays. We see some bridges.
Sure.
Snow and ice, some detours, downs. I don't know if there's any disruptions to service. If that's
Let's call up Tom, and I want to thank Metro. Metro had a mobile warming center. We had some firsts during this challenge. Not only did Metro hit the streets with mobile warming centers in the form of their buses, they were transporting people. Houston Fire last night was transporting people to warming centers for the first time in our experience. So, Tom, if you'll come tell us about your Metro services when they'll be totally back online.
Certainly. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for this opportunity. Metro, like everybody else, suffered, a great challenge in being able to get people to their jobs. And so this morning we did begin bringing service back after shutting down yesterday completely. We did bring people back this morning as quickly as we could. They are ahead of schedule, so we were shooting for having our core services back up and running by 1 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, they were up and running. They're not on schedule exactly just yet, but they will be getting on schedule as more and more of our personnel are out there. So, yeah, if there are issues, if people have challenges, we encourage them to call our offices, and we will help address them. But we're bringing all of our services back as quickly as we can. It's, there are people too that drive those buses and those trains and work on them. So we appreciate the collaboration and the partnership so that the roadways and the facilities are becoming clearer and able to service. So we're bringing service back as quick as we can.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Before I let us go and get back to work, let me just mention it's not like we're demobilizing, because in my administration we stay mobilized. You have to realize how large this city is, how diverse it is, and we're on call 7/24. And thank y'all for doing your part. My team's going back to work. And let me caution you, Estonians, about in the morning and even late this evening, there's still significant ice patches on our roads and bridges. So let's don't become complacent. We still have some challenges. We still have people that are vulnerable to the weather. So look out for your family, your friends, your neighbors, pets are your most vulnerable. And let's be thankful that we've reached this stage in the Arctic blast that we can go back to normal operations. Thank you all.
Easy stuff.